You're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. Macho. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Come on, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. It's Officer 5000 Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm here to invite you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people, to the ISUPK 57 annual Passover, hosted by Commandant General Yohana, the leader of this nation, Saturday, April 4th, at the BH Ranch, Houston, Texas. Shalom. Be there.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
All right, let me hit y'all up with something. Many of us, we talk about the Bible and claim to love God and all of this, claim to follow God, right? What you really want to do to be following God is not celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's, pagan holidays that's not in the Bible. You need to be making it down to the Lord's 57th annual Passover in Houston, Texas. It's going to be on April the 4th. The fee to get in is $200 per person. The Lord said, not to come in any of his feast days empty-handed, so that is why that fee is there on the table. So it's $200 per person, and what you want to do is make it down there and celebrate the Lord's Passover with true prophets of God from the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
If you're a Black, Native, or Hispanic, you need to be at the Lord's Passover. The only Passover is with the ISUPK under Commander Jeremy Hunter. Don't let them lie to you. If you out here celebrating this right here, you for sure gotta come celebrate with your people. Alright? The weather gonna look way better than this, and it's in Texas. The ISUPK under Commander Jeremy Hunter presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover in Houston, Texas, April 4th, 2026. Pay your Passover fees. ISUPK.com. $200 per adult. Kids get in free.
Boom, boom. All right. Seems like I can't hear myself. Let's run a quick mic check. Make sure that I can be heard. All right, that's good. We twop. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah to the Akim. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah to the Akwathium. Once again, I'm Officer of 1,000 Awaja, and tonight is the Detroit Law class. All right. Also, I'm holding it down for Officer 500, my main man, my brother, Officer Yashabain in the Cleveland area. So, the water to y'all for joining us tonight also. And we're going to rock it out. All right. If y'all got any questions or anything like that, drop it in the comment section. And as I see them, I'll answer them. And if I can't answer them this week, I will answer them next week. All right. Or I will have Cap answer them on scripture breakdown class. So if y'all ask me a question and I have to go to, and it does not get answered tonight, for whatever reason, I'll ask Cap the question at scripture breakdown. So make sure y'all don't miss that. All right. Okay. Let's get them, try to get in right quick. We are running a little bit behind, so try to jump right into this. So tonight we're going to be going over the leadership in Israel. Slack, give me 1 second. All right. If y'all can take a second to like and share the classes. It's a beautiful thing when y'all do that, man. Because as y'all can see now, man, as I say often, because every time I come, it's like every time I come in this class and sit down and do a class, the world is more and more chaotic. It's more and more chaotic, man. It's more and more crazy. So sharing the classes to help wake brothers and sisters up is such an important thing to do, and such a heavy thing to do, man. We all have a part to do pushing this truth, all right? And you can do yours by just simply liking and sharing the class. It doesn't take much, all right? So, leadership in Israel, right? The thing about it is, before we even talk about the leadership, the one thing we want to do is we have to more so look at the garbage that we follow. If you understand what I'm saying. Because think about it. We follow so much foolishness inside of this kingdom. Everybody we see on TV is our leader. And then we upset and angry with them when they do something that we might consider cooning or something of that nature. But here's the thing. Think about Kim Jong over in North Korea, right? What entertainers do he push to the forefront to discuss the business of North Korea? Think about your oppressor. What he ain't pushing Billy Ray Cyrus to the front line to discuss the business of America. He ain't doing that. They let their what's that one comedian named George Clooney? Did I say it right? No, I think he an actor or something. But y'all get the point I'm making. They don't push their entertainers to the forefront to discuss the business of their people or their country. For some reason, Black Hispanics and Native Americans, that's what we love to do. That's what we love to do. We love to look to the people that we see on TV. We don't look at them and go, nah, they shouldn't speak for us because they're just entertainers. Or they shouldn't represent us. And here's a question y'all should be asking yourselves. Who put them in position to speak for you anyway? Your oppressor. Your oppressor just looked around and said, I'm gonna invite Steve Harvey over here to talk. None of us, and we accepted it and expected Steve Harvey to go in there and speak on behalf of us as a nation. When that's not Steve Harvey's job. He's a comedian. He's an entertainer. Good, bad, you like him, you don't, love him, hate him, whatever the case may be. He's still just an entertainer. He still can say certain stuff and can't say certain stuff. All right? We're going to start off in the book of Ezekiel 34:1. 34:1, man. All right. You know who should be speaking for black people? Commander General Yohana should be speaking for black people. Like, we at a time where we close to the end of this thing, man. When are you going to really wake up? Right? Really wake up and stop wanting to be tricked. You know, a lot of these Slakia, a lot of our people, we choose stuff based on how we feel and what we like. It's never based on what the truth is. A lot of us do this, right? So you will leave Christianity to go join some fake Israelite group because it just sound good to you, and it's something you want to hear. And it's something you want to hear. Like, you'll be surprised how many people don't join the UPK simply because we have multiple wives in the school. It's people that won't come in here simply because of that. They don't care whether it's true or not. They just ain't coming in here. And of course, what they do, they go put on purple or white or some foolishness to get tricked again. I don't understand it. Why would you leave getting tricked? Like, why would you leave from the Christian church or the Muslim mosque getting tricked to go somewhere else to keep getting tricked? So you leave and you step away and you look around and you watch, and then you go join some fake Israelite group. That's the same as like Proverbs 26 and 11. Actually, let's get that. Because that's what it is. Let's get Proverbs 26 and 11. Slacky, quickly, just real quick. I'll read this as fast as I can. All right. Proverbs 26 and 11, and it says, as a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. So that's what it's like. It's like a dog returning to his own vomit. You got rid of the bull stuff that was in you, only to go back to it. What you think now? Because you put fringes on a t-shirt, that's still not biblical. It's the same thing as Christianity. You in some group that just let anybody come join it. It's the same thing as Christianity. You walked away from your own vine and returned right back to it. You walked away from foolishness and returned right back to it. All right? That's what you did. And we have to stop doing that. We have to stop choosing our leaders based on what we like, based on how we feel, based on things of that nature. Because when we do that, guess what? We get it wrong every single time, man. We get it wrong every single time. I don't remember a time where we got it right. Because what? It's because it's based off what we think is right. Instead of doing the one thing we should be doing, which is looking at what the Lord said is right. Like every decision you make in your life should always be based off of what the Lord think is right and what the Lord think is wrong. You should never think to make a decision based on yourself. That's a terrible decision. That's a terrible decision. The second you do that, you just made a terrible, terrible decision. All right. Let's get back to Ezekiel 34. Ezekiel 34. So like while we're doing that, let me check and see if I got any questions. Because I don't want to. Sometimes I'll be missing brothers' questions or I'll be waiting too long. Slack it. Sometimes I'll be taking a little bit too long to get to brothers' questions. I'm going to try to do better at that. All right? I'm going to try to do better at that. Okay. So we had Ezekiel 34, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Why is it saying prophesy against the shepherds of Israel? Because you got to understand something. A shepherd is supposed to lead. Now, that just kind of tie into what I said. A leader that leads of his own thought. Now, follow me for 1 second and think about this. You have a Christian pastor or whoever, a Christian pastor, right? He puts himself in a leadership role to do what? Lead the people. But what is he leading you to? See, you can follow somebody and they can lead you to your own destruction. And that's what every leader does that does not follow the law, statutes, and commandments. That's not getting the understanding, the wisdom that come with the Bible. Even if sometimes it might look like that's what they're doing, it's still not exactly what they're doing. Right? I was at the doctor's office, and my doctor actually was inviting me to come to his little church or his little man. I don't know what something he had going on at his church or some foolishness like that. And he goes to show me a clip of some of the stuff they doing. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is nothing more than a motivational speech. He telling me about all this healing and miracle and all this other stuff they doing. And it's nothing more than a damn, it's a show. He running to whoever the dude was speaking. I don't know whether it's their pastor or whoever the hell it was. He running around slapping flies. I'm trying hard not to laugh. This is my doctor. He got to give me my medicine and stuff. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't want to laugh too hard at him. But it was the most stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. I said, there's no way I ever go in there. Not to learn about the Lord. Well, I'm not going into Christian church for nothing anyway, but definitely to learn about the Lord. I ain't going in there just to sit down and talk about anything, because that's just not my thing. But it's ridiculous. And people will go to that and feel that because it makes them feel good. But we have to stop and ask ourselves, is he really teaching what God wants? Is he really teaching the Bible? And for what I see, absolutely not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm in here, because in 5 seconds, I'm like, man, this is stupid and BS. Maybe it's because I'm in here that I seen straight, like it was amazing how quickly I seen, just like, of course I knew it was about to be some dumb stuff anyway. Before he even, I'm just like, man, just give me my stuff so I can get the hell out of here. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, man, whatever. I know I'm not coming. No, I don't want to come. No to all of that. I'm steady saying no. All right? Because I know better. No matter, excuse me. I don't give a damn how good it make you feel. It's not about feeling good, man. It's about what's the truth. What's right? What's wrong? That's the things that it's about. You should feel good about doing what's right. You should feel good about serving the Lord. Those are the things you should feel good about. All right. Speak against the shepherds of Israel, prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Woe to the shepherds that feed themselves, man. And it's insane because outside of Commander General Yohana, every so-called leader in Israel is only feeding themselves. They only feeding themselves. They only teaching for their own gain. Because think what the Bible say. The Bible say it is what? One body. One body. Everybody, every fake Israelite group should be in here. But of course, what did they do? They left because of some stupid lust they had. Maybe they had a disagreement with somebody or something. They ain't like checking in all the time. They just wanted to be in charge. I could just go start my own Israelite group. I ain't gotta take orders from nobody. I could just go start my own group. What's the bottom line? They leave because of their lack of brotherhood. They lack of love. Now, they attempted to go to lead other people. That's not an easy to lead blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, the nation of Israel, man. The Lord has got to be with you, man. That's why so much foolishness come out in all these other groups. That's why it's always so much foolishness in these other groups. One group don't like us because we have multiple wives, and yet they don't have multiple wives, but they get to have concubines. Like, how effing stupid is that? You gonna not come in here because of that and then go somewhere else where it's okay for you to be a concubine? It's strange. Or you're gonna go somewhere else where they don't teach that or they don't allow that, but the leader is into having things done to him. That's about the best way I could put it. Yeah, the leader is into having things done to him. Weird stuff. But you won't come in here and come into the truth. Like, I really don't like saying other Israelite groups' name, but I'm going to go ahead and say this name. Sakari should not even be an Israelite group no more. Okay? They should, it's just like, come on. Every member in there should have left and said, okay, I know where the truth is at now and been in here. That's what should have happened. Did it happen? No. They stayed. I wouldn't have been in there, man. Just me. It took me a minute. I'm just gonna talk about myself for 1 second, Salaki. Not in a vain way, but just my experience as far as picking an Israelite group. It took me a minute to pick a group, because of course I'm like everybody else in the world. I'm watching videos on YouTube, trying to figure this out and figure that out. I'm watching a bunch of Freemasonry stuff and things of that nature. And I used to always hear when people talked about the UPK, they used to always talk about their head being covered, right? And one day I was watching them speak at camp. I forgot what school it was. In some kind of way, the camera caught the top of a brother's head. And I saw braids. And I was like, his head ain't covered. I'm like, his head is open at the top. Now, it was one main person pushing that, right? So instantly, me being a brother, that the type of brother that I am, I'm like, well, wait a minute. You wore that before, so you knew that it was an opening at the top of the head. But instead of saying that, you just kept pushing that their hair was covered and they was doing wrong and evil things. You're lying. You're being deceptive. That's how I looked at it. I said, this brother is a liar. I'll never allow him to lead me. Ever. And then from there, it was just from that point on. From that point on, it was just on. The UPK was the way for me. I still was, it still took me a while to actually come to the school. But yeah, I had made my choice right then and there, though. I knew one day I would be in the school. I was just, had some things I had to shake off. All right? Salakia. Thus saith the Lord God unto the shepherds of Israel, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherd feed the flock? The Lord is asking a question. He says, should not the shepherd feed the flock? And if you are a leader, that is your job. Your job is to feed the people. It's your job. What kind of knowledge is you giving somebody, teach them about the dark side of the moon? What kind of effing knowledge are you teaching them? What are you teaching them? You're teaching them TV shows and cartoons and songs and a bunch of foolishness, man. I remember my ex-rib said when they used to lightning and thunder, her auntie used to say, that's the angels up there bowling. That's what you teaching people. The angels up there bowling. Oh, shoot, Salakia. Give me 1 second. All right. Cool. Slack. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. All right, I'm back. Yeah. And that kind of stuff, man. All right. You should feed the flock, man. But what are you feeding them? Well, if you're trying to feed them garbage, then you're not feeding them at all. Christianity and fake Israelites basically teach you can buy your way into the kingdom. You just tied your way in the kingdom. And here you got to stop. You have to come in here and you got to change. You got to stop sinning, man. You have to stop sinning. You can't continue living a sinful life once you walk through these doors. Something has to change. Because if you come in here and you don't change, you want to keep sinning, we're going to send you back out there so you can just keep living your life and doing whatever it is you're doing. Because we can't allow that in here, man. Christian churches and fake Israelite groups, they'll just let you stay as long as you're paying tithes. What the hell do they care? They're feeding themselves. They're not feeding the flock. They're feeding themselves. What the hell do they care in Islam? They're feeding themselves. Farrakhan won't let go of his spot. He's standing up there teaching. He got people holding him up while he's speaking. He's feeding himself. You don't want to let go of that spot? Should y'all not feed the flock and not feed yourself? Verse 3, ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. Verse 4. It says that the diseased have ye not strengthened. Meaning, that's like the sick, that's like saying the sick you haven't healed. Somebody with they're weak. You're supposed to strengthen them. But if all you doing is bamming on a tambourine and running around and talking about holding hands, and the women just jumping up and down in the aisles, falling on the ground, rolling around, what in the hell is going on? Look at all this, everything I just said. All that is a part of the Christian church, and what the hell is any of it? Where is any of it in the Bible? How is that showing you're doing what the Lord said you want him to do? None of that has anything to do with serving the Lord. Oh my God, man. Some of them Christian women, man, can be some of the evilest women to ever walk the face of the earth, man. They just can be, man. I remember I was in a Christian church, man. All praises to the Most High. I ain't in there no more. But there was this one lady in there, man. I guess they used to get a stamps or a bridge card or whatever. And she wouldn't even let her husband eat the food that she bought with the bridge card. She said he got to buy his own food. I said, good night. Now, I knew it was wrong, and I knew I would never be with a woman like that, of course, then, but I didn't understand how effing evil that was until I came in here. I knew something was wrong with her. I just thought she wasn't a good Christian. But man, that is a demon on the highest of the high that she has on her. All right, so I can imagine the hell that brother was living in. All right, says, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye bought again that which was driven away. So right now, what we do, what Ezekiel is doing, and what the Lord is having them say is this. It says, neither have you healed the sick. It says, neither have you bound up that which was broken. You're not fixing. Look at Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. Right? Look at us today. Look at us in the condition that we in today. Outside of the UPK, is it anybody fixing? Is anybody changing us, man? Is there anybody that's getting us to stop sinning? How the hell? It don't even really look like it does. To somebody who just don't know, it might, but it's not. And I'm trying to tell you this. It's not, because to have you still living in sin, to have you still celebrating what's called Easter, to have you still celebrating Easter, you getting ready for Easter. A lot of us out here getting ready for Easter. Slakia. Have anybody really helped you? Has anybody really changed you? No. You ain't fixed that which is broken. We broken inside of this kingdom. And we broken because we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We broken because we don't serve the Lord the way we should. We broken because we don't know how to serve the Lord in this kingdom. We don't have a clue. We don't have the slightest idea on how to serve the Lord in this kingdom. Salakia. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we don't know how to serve the Lord in this kingdom. And nobody is teaching us, except for the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana. And what's crazy is a lot of people run from this, man. A lot of people run from this because, and here's why, because guess what they've been taught? They've been taught, man, can't nobody keep them laws like that. How you keep them laws like that, man? Nobody can do that, brother. Nobody can keep them laws like that, brother. Not today. You got to keep 600, and somebody told me a number it was. I don't know what the hell. He's like, you keep all, can you keep all 600 and something odd laws? I said, good grief, this brother is in trouble. This brother is in trouble. Because as soon as somebody says something like that to me, I just think to myself, like, somebody has lied and deceived and tricked this brother. Because think about it. If he knew the law, like he tried to make it seem like he know the law, he would know that I don't keep the law that a woman who go on her cycle would keep. He would know that. So he would never make a statement like that. And instead, because it's like, give me 1 second. Yeah. All right. Slacker. So let's keep it going. Verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd. And we scatter. And that's what think about how we are inside of this kingdom versus, okay, let's do it this way. Let's break it up into two groups. Think about how we are inside of this kingdom now versus, let's go back to the maybe the late 50s through the 60s. Think about how together we was, how unified we was. Our community was all together. It wasn't until our real downfall wasn't until we started wanting to join ourselves to them. And we started pushing to join ourselves to them. Which, to this day, I still like, I really need somebody to sit down and explain that to me. I really do. I really would like for somebody to explain that to me. What was that? What was the thought process behind that? What was the thought process? What is it that we was trying to gain? You can say, okay, sometimes this is one of the things I hear. I hear jobs, but then it makes no sense to me for a person to sell their business to go work for somebody else. If that makes sense to somebody else, just let me know. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if we look at most of their profits today come from the black community. We the ones buying Gucci like it ain't no tomorrow. We the ones buying Gucci like it ain't no tomorrow. That's us. Louis Vuitton. Every time a rapper walk across the stage in something, they sell out. An entertainer or something, they sell out. What I'm saying is, look how much money it is inside the black community. So you could just imagine what was there when we was together. So we had the funds and the means and the everything. We never needed to join to anybody. They needed us. We did not need them. They struggled without us. We did not struggle without them. All right? But again, because of our leadership, they did what? They led us to integration and civil rights and all that stupidity. And it done absolutely nothing. Like, because really think about it, that stuff is just a piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. It means absolutely nothing. How do you know? We were still getting hung for trees then, and we still getting hung for trees today. Nothing changed from then to now. We were still getting brutalized by police then. We still getting brutalized by police today. It's still no change, no difference. So if there's no change, the only change is now is your community look like a war zone. Now our neighborhoods got fields and all kind of stuff all over the place, where it was thriving and it was houses up and down the streets and family community. Now it's a bunch of fields. The only thing changed is the crack epidemic hit your neighborhood. That's what poor leadership does. And guess what? If we would have listened to the Lord, that would have never happened, because the Lord told us to do what? The Lord told us to separate ourselves. How we need them, and we built Black Wall Street. How do we need them? To say we need them makes no sense. We don't need, we never did. They needed us to join them because they fear us. And they needed a leader. They needed to put somebody in charge that would lead us to them. Like somebody leading the lamb to the slaughter. Not somebody coming up with a game plan for us to be self-sufficient, but for us to join people who hate us. Is insane. And to pull it off is even crazier. All right? and they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. And that's what we came to in this nation, man. We meat to all the beasts of the field. How in the hell is the Arab and the Indian selling us chicken? You Black, Hispanic, and Native American, ain't no way. You telling me don't nobody consume more chicken than Black people, and some Arab is gonna come into our neighborhood and open a chicken spot and sell us chicken? We become meat for all the beasts of the field, man. How in the hell did he even get a loan to do such a thing and you can't even get one? The oppressor, you try to open up that same chicken spot, the oppressor gonna tell you, nah. You know what? We can't do that for you. Him, they'll bring him over here. He barely can speak goddamn on English. And get him right in, man. Because we didn't join ourselves together with anybody. We put them over us. The join together was just an illusion. You was too happy to be able to use the same bathroom and drink from the same water fountain. And eat at the same restaurant that you put an entire people back underfoot. We become meat for every other nation, man. And now, every other nation come in our neighborhood and they own every gas station. I can't even remember the last time I seen a Black-owned gas station. They own every gas station and every liquor store. I can't even remember, man. And it's insane. And they driving from Ann Arbor and from Dearborn. They stay an hour or two away. They driving an hour, 2 hours away every day to come in here and suck the life out of our community. That's integration for you. Mind you, again, we sold our businesses to go do a march on Washington. Sold our businesses, our houses, and things of that nature to fund March on Washington, to go get our check, to go get our cut. This is what they said. And got nothing. And then they can't. Hey, Salakia, man. It is just, it's painful. It's painful that we done such a thing like that, man. Like they hoard us out. They hoard us out, man. All because they loved oppressor women. Verse 6. My sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. And that's what happened. Nobody cares about what happens to us, man. Nobody cares about that, man. Think about the what they call an opioid epidemic nowadays. Think about what they did in Philadelphia, man. Now, everybody know how bad Philadelphia is, right? Or got some form of an idea. Or got some form of an idea, right? So in Philadelphia, what they did because of the opioid epidemic, because now the oppressor was suffering and gone off of heroin and opioids and things of that nature. They created like safe houses for them where they can go in and do their heroin. They made sure they had clean needles and clean things to do because, man, these people is so sick and just addicted they can't help themselves. But that's what they did for one another. When it came to us, though, they would have never even let us, they would lock us up just for having the needle. Now think about it. They're actually bringing heroin into a place and they're giving them needles so they can take the heroin. Meanwhile, if you was getting caught with a needle, you was going to jail. But when it comes to them, they're giving them needles. Now, am I just saying that we should be able to take heroin and, no, of course that's not what I'm saying. Of course that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the level of compassion that they have for themselves versus what they have for us is insane. They have no sense of compassion for us. Nobody thought we were sick and had a problem and needed help. That's what the scripture said. Nobody seek or search for us. They ain't care about us, man. You got a bunch of sheep out. You got a bunch of sheep in one pen and the sheep get out. And you just leave them out there, F them. And you the shepherd. No, you the shepherd. You got to go get that sheep, man. You can't leave them out there with the wolves to be devoured, to be eaten. To be ripped apart, freeze to death. You can't do that, man. And call yourself a shepherd? Nah, you can't do it. All right? Verse 7. It says, therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 8 says, as I live, saith the Lord God, surely, because my flock became a prey. And that's what blacks and Hispanics have become. We become a prey inside of this kingdom. How do you know that's true? Because you got a dispensary on every goddamn corner. You got a KFC on every corner. They said the KFC chickens don't even, is so bad that they can't even call it Kentucky Fried Chicken no more. That's what it was called when I was younger. It was Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now they just call it KFC. They can't even call it chicken. It is insane, man. As I live, saith the Lord, surely because my flock has become a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherd search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not the flock. Verse 9. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against the shepherds. And that's what the Lord said, man. The Lord said he against these shepherds, man. He against the fake leaders of Israel, man. He against the people that teach you to celebrate Easter. He against that. He against the people that teach you to worship a rock in Mecca. The Lord is against that. He against the people that tell you to join hand in hand with the people with the people that hate you, man. Or join again with other nations, period. Because that's not what the Lord wanted us to do. The Lord told us to be separate. So if the Lord wants us separate, why in the hell is everybody trying to join us together with everybody? It does not work for us. It does not work for us. It works for them. It works for them, but it does not work for us. And how does it work for them? Because we come in and we make everything better. The NBA would have been failed if it wasn't for blacks. Baseball, Hispanics. Like every sport or everything that they do, it needs us. It needs the 12 tribes. It needs us, or it's not going to be successful. Everything they do inside of this kingdom needs us. It ain't just sports. They needed us for the internet, brother. Cell phones. This is all things that's coming from black people. Your oppressor ain't that smart. The only thing your oppressor is good at is being violent. That's it. Anything that's surrounded by being violent and hurting and harming and destroying and destruction, he's good at that. He's great at that. He is excellent at that. But helping and being caring and being compassionate and things of that nature, no. All right. Behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. And that's what, and we see that, man. And we see that. I brought up Sakari earlier, right? But here goes the problem. So the brother was doing what he was doing. The Lord removed him, but the people still stayed. That's insane. The people still stayed. They didn't leave. They stayed. Now, why would you do that? That's the problem right there. The same thing with the people at Eddie Long's church. He did all that mess, and the people stayed. They stayed there because, and here's why they did it, man. Because in staying there, it allows them to stay the same. So whatever it is they doing or whatever it is they got going on, like brothers could have left Sakari and came here and came home to the truth and been in the one body like they were supposed to, but you can't come in here and still be doing sinful things. We don't tolerate that in here. Of course, we understand that when you're coming in from the world, you're coming in from the world. We don't expect you to change the next day. But get the counseling, work on yourself, and over a period of time, you're going to change. But stay the same, you're not going to be able to do that here. Not in here, you're not going to be able to do that, man. Because we don't allow sinning in here. We don't do that, man. You can't just be sitting in here just sinning like, no, we cannot do that. Because we have a job to do, a commitment. Commander General Yohana sent us out to go teach people, raise people up, all kind. How you gonna do that? The Lord ain't with you if you sinning. Not. You need the Lord to be with you to get out there and do these things, man. You're not gonna get it done sinning. It does not work like that. You cannot get it done being out there sinning. And that's why the Lord is removing a lot of people, man. He's removing a lot of people, man. And you're going to see it more and more and more. It's going to get exposed. Things are getting exposed more and more and more as we living in these crazy times, man. We so close to the end. Like, goodness gracious. I don't even think a lot of times we can fathom the things as close as we are. All right. So I can give me 1 second. Let me. Make sure we good. Cool. Yeah, I don't think we can fathom how close we really are. All right. It says, Slacky, I'm going to start back at the top of verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord thy God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hands, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore, for I will deliver my flock from their mouths, that they may not be meat for them. And man, that's what Commander General Yohana sends us out to do, man. He sends us out to wake and raise up brothers and sisters, man. And that's such a great thing to do, man. That's such a great thing to do and an honorable thing to do, man. To go out here and wake brothers and sisters up, man. Yeah, to go out here and wake brothers and sisters up, it is such an honorable thing to do because why? Because if we don't do it, then who will? Who will? Creflo Dollar? Somebody with fringes on their t-shirt? How is this thing possible? It's not, man. It's not. You have to be willing to stand in adversity, because that's what the truth is going to bring. The truth going to bring, when you telling the truth and you teaching the truth, you're going to have some adversity because people don't want to hear it. It's only a select few that's going to gravitate to the truth. All right. So from there, let's get Jeremiah. We're going to get Jeremiah, the 14th chapter. Jeremiah 14. Yeah. Who's going to, if we don't do it, that's why everything we do in here is so important. Even from something as simple as liking and sharing the classes, man. Something as simple as that. Me in some fake Israelite group sitting next to some African. Mustier than a fool. Funking up the whole dang on class, and you got to sit next to him. Nah, Some stinking Hamite. Some dang on bone eater. Nah, man. Who gonna do it if we don't do it? And then you got to go back and forth with them. They talking about they got the truth. How you got the truth next to an African? If you don't get the hell out of here. Let's get 14 and 10. Jeremiah 14 and 10. All right. Got it. Jeremiah 14 and 10. It reads, it says, thus saith the Lord unto this people, thus have they loved to wander. They have not refrained their feet. And that's what we do a lot of times. And it's because our leadership, we wander. We go from this place to that place to this place. Like when we was in the world, right? How many of y'all had more than one church home? I know I did. I had about 17 of them. I remember 17 different churches at one time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Whatever. Nobody explained the rules to me and I didn't know. All right. Then I had I don't want to say I was in Islam, but I will say I had a brief brush with Islam. I think that's the way I'll put it. A brief brush with it. And then I found the truth, man. And it was like, whew, it was something different, man. Coming into UPK, man, and learning the truth, and the greatest thing ever. But that's the point is, we wondered. Because a lot of times it just feel like you feel empty because something is missing. You don't know what it is. It's just, it's not there. You know how it's just, you can't quite put your hand on it. And then I'm reading the Bible too at the same time. But I'm reading like, what I used to do is I would just pick a book in the Bible. So I'm reading Isaiah. And I remember sitting there and I'd be reading the book of Isaiah. And I would be like, good night. This don't sound like what I'm learning. This don't sound like that to me. I'm reading this, and I'd be like, and because of Christianity, this is what I would say. I would say, okay, well, God ain't like that no more. He ain't like that no more. Good night. This is terrible. Like causing me to ignore what I'm reading in the Bible. That's what Christianity and being in a bunch of and not having the truth done. All right. It says that they have not refrained their feet. Therefore, the Lord doeth not accept them. He will now remember their iniquities and visit their sins, which is something, man. I don't think any of us want that, man. And the only way to not get something of that nature to happen, man, we have to what? Plant our feet on solid grounds. We have to root ourselves in the truth. We have to be rooted in this thing, man. The truth got to be our foundation. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, it got to be our foundation. It got to be the foundation of how we live our everyday life, man. Picking your leader and the men that you follow is the most important thing you can do, because leadership is not by the things you say. Leadership is by the things you do. If you in the ISUPK, you are, whatever rank you is, you are a leader of men. In about 15 minutes, these people out here are going to need you. They're going to need your leadership. Your leadership is by example. That's what your leadership is, man. Your leadership is how you conduct yourself. And that way, what can happen? The Lord can be with you. Because what does it say right here? It say, nah, man, I'm about to remember their sins. Why? Because they haven't changed. They haven't changed. They haven't repented. They haven't done any of those things, man. But if you in here, you better do those things, man. Because in about 15 minutes, you're going to be responsible for a lot of people, man. Because when things jump off and things actually start getting rougher and rougher, they're not going to be able to turn to Christianity. We know that the Christianity will close the doors on them. They're not going to be able to turn to Islam. Because Islam has nothing to give. They only receive. That's why they're all out there selling them newspapers and bean pies. They only can receive. They don't have anything to give. Fake Israelite groups, they only take. They don't have anything to give either. Because giving and helping the people is not in their mind. So if you're an officer in here, man, you better be ready. Because the people ain't going to have nowhere else to turn but to you. Nowhere else to go to but to you. You got to be ready for this thing. You got to be ready for this thing, man. And that's what makes being an officer and being in here such a heavy ordeal, man. Such a heavy ordeal, because that responsibility is about to shoot up tenfold. Tenfold. In a minute, man, it's going to be standing room only in these classes. We're going to have to get a loudspeaker outside. That's how it's going to be in a minute. Because people going to do what? They're going to realize what? All we ever had was each other. That's all we ever had. They're going to realize that. They're going to see that, man. They're going to see that the oppressor ain't done nothing but created an illusion. They're going to see the leaders that we have inside of here all been set up by the oppressor. You can't let the person that hates you and wants to harm you also set up your leaders. Then you gonna give you a good leader? No. Because the Lord is bringing this thing to an end. And our deliverance is close. I don't know how close. I ain't saying, I'm just saying it's close. And I'm thankful. And I'm just sitting back waiting and watching. That's it. Waiting and watching. All right. And with that, I'm gonna close the class out. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're